I come from New York, where we're hearing an awful lot about London. It's being caricatured and stereotyped in the context of this mayoral race by the president, by one of the candidates for mayor as well. It's being portrayed as a place that's out of control, a lot of crime. There's a heavy amount of Islamophobia in there as well. What's your response to that, the way that London is being used as sort of something being held up in the New York mayoral campaign?
Well, first, I've got lots of friends who are in New York, and I think New York is the second greatest city in the world. Look, there's a reason why there are some people hate London and hate New York. There's a reason why they demonize London and now indeed New York. Why? Because we are progressive cities, we are liberal cities, we are multicultural cities, and we're incredibly successful. We are the antithesis of nativist, populist commentators and politicians. And I think, listen, the fact that in New York you may elect somebody who's a Muslim is neither here nor there. It's what are his policies, what are his vision, what does he want to do for the people of New York? And I think, listen, it says more about the people criticizing, Zohran Mamdani's ethnicity and faith. It says more about them, what they're all about, than it says about him.
You spoke with him after the Democratic primary, and I wonder if you could kind of characterize what that conversation was like. You say it's neither here nor there that he could be the first Muslim mayor of New York, and I'll go with your hierarchy, London and New York, these two major cities. What did you tell him about what that is like? You were the first Muslim mayor of London, what that means.
Look, conversations I have with others are private conversations, but I'm quite clear. When you are from a city like London or New York, I think the greatest honor and the greatest privilege is to be the leader of that city. I've had many great jobs in my life that I've thoroughly enjoyed. There is no greater job than being the mayor of your city. I've seen from afar the campaign that Zohran Mamdani has run. He appears to be having fun. He appears to be connecting. He's doing something that I know a lot about, which is reaching parts of your city that are underserved, reaching people that hitherto feel as if politics isn't for you, understanding that actually, sometimes cities aren't fair. Sometimes in a city you've got two separate tales taking place, and what's important is for you to be authentic. And whether you're in New York or London or other parts of the globe, is to be true to yourself. And I'm looking forward to seeing the results in the next couple of days, actually, see what happens.
With your mayoralty and perhaps there is an element of being the mayor of London or New York that is a global responsibility. You're here in Brazil. How much of that is a surprise to you, and how much do you think about the role of London on the global stage?
Well, the reality is when you are from a global city, when you are a leader of that global city, your audience, really importantly, are your constituents, but also it's the globe, because the world's eyes are on London, the world's eyes indeed are on New York. That is a huge privilege, but it comes with a huge responsibility. So I've never campaigned to be a Muslim mayor. I don't use those sort of words. I'm a mayor who happens to be Muslim, but I recognize, and this is just a fact of life, there are some people who may not have met a Muslim. There are some people who only see things in movies or when they hear from presidents. And I want to address some of the fears people have sometimes because I am a Muslim. I recognize sometimes people prejudge what it means to be a Muslim. So not by choice, but almost by duty, I sometimes use my role to explain we aren't the boogeyman. We are just like you. We've got the same ambitions and aspirations as you. I never asked for that responsibility, but I recognize as the leader of a great city, as a proud Brit, a proud Englishman, a proud Londoner, but also a proud Muslim, I'm more than happy to talk about my faith and what it means. And I'm sure you'll see if Zohran Mamdani does win, Mayor Mamdani doing the same. Not because he necessarily wants to, but because he recognizes that our religion has been demonized. I think we both would recognize that actually a small minority of people who claim to follow our religion have done some bad stuff. That doesn't represent the more than 2 billion people on this planet who are Muslims.
Last question, kind of playing off of this. In New York, in this campaign, there's a lot of warning from a lot of wealthier New Yorkers saying that people will leave the city were he to win, if the city were to get too progressive as they see it. We had Nigel Farage issuing the same warning in London today, that there's a chance that people who are of means in London might elect to lead if we go farther to the left there. Your response to that warning or that proposed trend?
Well, firstly, I've got no idea whether that is the case, whether that will happen. If that is the case, come to London. I'm going to roll out the red carpet and welcome you to London. I think the reality is, New York's a great city. I hope New York continues to flourish and thrive. Of course, like London, we have challenges, but the joy of being the mayor is you work with everyone across your city. I campaigned to be a mayor for all Londoners. Yes, I campaigned for those who live in deprived communities, those who desperately need social housing, those who are facing the consequences of cost of living crisis, but also recognizing that I, as a politician, don't create the wealth. I don't create the jobs, but working with the private sector, working with all Londoners, you can do a great job.